listening to tonight's show. You can connect with Jammin Jukebox Radio Show on Twitter at Jammin Jukebox or on Facebook at Jammin Jukebox Radio Show. Check out our website at thejamminjukebox.com. Also, follow us on Blog Talk, where you will be always up to date on every episode as we add it. Each episode is available for immediate download upon the conclusion of each broadcast, and as always, on iTunes. Thank you for joining us.
Well, hello and welcome. It is Wednesday night, and this is the Jammin Jukebox Radio Show. I am your host, DJ Delta Dawn, and hello. I hope everyone has had a great day out there. It has been a day on this end of the world for me, and that is why I'm so glad to be here with you tonight. Thank you to all the listeners who are tuned in, and for anyone that is new joining us for the first time tonight, welcome aboard. We're so glad to have you with us. Now, tonight we bring to you a hip-hop rap artist, and he goes by the name of Paris-Lamont, and we're going to be having him. He's going to be calling in momentarily, but we're real excited to be talking with him. He's up and coming. He's got some great stuff out, and so we are real excited to be introducing him to you all tonight. And so how was your day today? I hope it was great. And as I said, my day was kind of mediocre. As I mentioned a couple of nights ago, the last time I was on air, I was diagnosed last week with shingles. I know, you're cringing at the thought. And believe me, it's been no cakewalk of late. But we're bouncing back slowly but surely, and just so glad to have the radio show here. Kind of a sanity check for the last couple of days. It gets kind of stir-crazy when you're cooped up in the house and not really going anywhere. I mean, there's only so much looking at the four walls you can do. But needless to say, we are getting better, and still not out of the woods quite yet, but at least I was able to go back to my day job today for what that was worth, and and kind of get back in the groove there, so that was good. It kind of helped to kind of recharge and re-energize, but I'm telling you, I wouldn't wish this on anyone. If you've never had the shingles, or you're going, what are the shingles? I'm just going to tell you that the shingles are kind of the chicken pox. No, actually, they are the chicken pox virus, and if you ever had the chicken pox as a kid or at any time in your life, the virus remains dormant in your system throughout. So you always are susceptible, or that probability is there to get the shingles at any given time, and it can be brought on by low immune system or stress. In my case, it was stress. And believe me, it's not from doing the show. So many other things in my life. But needless to say, they do have a vaccine for the shingles, and I would implore anyone, if I had known that such existed, I would have went and got this long before, I had any thought that I was going to ever have this. I would implore anyone to invest and go get it, because you do not want the shingles. It is not the chicken pox, people. It is the chicken pox 2.0, as I like to call it. You have all the random symptoms, and it runs the same course, but it's very painful. That is the difference, and you do not want to deal with pain. Some people have more, worse cases than others, but in my case, I think I had a relatively mild case, but I'm so thankful that we're kind of on the backside of it now. And hopefully, as the days ahead, it will get much, much better. So I'm going to quit talking about that, because I think our guest is calling in, and we'll see if he is on the line now. Hello. Jammin Jukebox. Is this Paris?
Yes. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Life is good right now. Life is good. I got the release of my mixtape, I Am Who I Am, released January 15th. ThatPiff.com if you haven't already downloaded, and SoundCloud, live-mixtapes.com. That's about it.
Wow. I mean, you it sounds like you've been incredibly busy. Well, before we launch into this, I wanted to say thank you for being on the show tonight and for taking time out, because I know that you've been incredibly busy of late.
No, thank you.
And I do want to apologize, because I have been tweeting out. I'm so glad that you sent me a note, because I have been tweeting out that you were R&B hip-hop, and I had it all messed up. I am so sorry, man. So I quickly rectified that. You're a hip-hop rap, my friend, and now, we got that straight. But anyway, please forgive me on that. But yeah, I mean, when you listen to your music, it is definitely hip-hop rap, and it's very good, by the way. And I guess.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I wanted to get started by asking you, how did you get into music? I mean, was it something that you were kind of, when you were small, you kind of took an interest in, or has it just?
Oh no. The way I got into music was kind of weird because I grew up playing sports and everything like that. Like I grew up playing basketball and football my whole life, and I ran track in high school and went all state for about 3 years straight in that. I went state in football 1 year and everything like that. And you're not gonna believe it. The first time I actually really got introduced to music, I met a girl at the high school I was going at the time, and the song "Best I Ever Had" came out by Drake, and I was on the phone and I was trash talking, you know how we do, and I was like, I'm gonna sing it to you, and she was like, I'm gonna hold you to that. You gonna sing me that song, and I went over her house. And she really made me sing it. Like that was the first time, I done something like that. I was kind of embarrassed, but I mean, she like joined in with me and stuff like that, and we just sung it. And a couple of days later, I told her I was like, I'm gonna start rapping. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, oh yeah, you should do it. But I didn't really take it as seriously until I went to Overbrook, where I met a guy. And, I had been practicing about a month or two into it before I met him. And when he heard me, he was like, yo, whatever you're doing, stop. This is your calling right here. And ever since then, I've done nothing but practice and get better and better and better. And it led me to tonight with you.
Oh, wow. I mean, what a story, because it sounds like even before you realized that this is what you wanted to do, I mean, you were going to have a career playing sports somewhere, it sounds like. I mean, be it collegiate or pro. I mean, you had it going on, my friend, and then and then to think that a female of all things was your inspiration. I mean, it kind of fueled your fire, kind of got you rolling there, and then to take off on my man Drake. I mean, my gosh, you If you could do Drake, now I must tell you, and somebody says you need to be doing this, that's a pretty high compliment, So I'm glad that you're pursuing the dream, because so few people do, or they're too afraid to take that chance. And so before you even thought about music, I mean, where was your head in terms of, were you thinking you might? Did you think you were going to go down the sports path, like you were going to pursue that professionally? Or
I really did. I really did. I thought I was going to go to the NBA up until a certain point when I realized that I'm not going to grow past 5'9", 5'10". So I was like, yeah, football. That's the sport right there. And then, when music came about, it was over. I didn't think about nothing else after that. I was like, this is meant for me.
I think you've made a great choice, and and hey, I mean, it's not often that you've got someone like yourself that can say, hey, I've got this to fall back on, where I had this first, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So talk about a little bit about what has been happening for you since you decided to pursue music.
I mean, when I first started to pursue music and everything like that, like, people looked at me like, no, because, like, they looked at me like this pretty boy, just sports guy. And, when I first sprung it on people were like, oh, my God, no, don't do that. It's not you. Until I dropped my first mixtape. After I dropped my first mixtape, people was like, okay, maybe he has a talent in it. Maybe he's good. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he could do it. And
it got real for people then,
Yeah, right, exactly. Like after that, it was like, okay, maybe we see what he's saying, because like when you go from hot to cold, people look at you like, okay, is he losing his mind, out here? Because like at first it was like, oh my God, he just don't want to do nothing with his life, and he's just using that as an excuse to do nothing. And when people, heard the mixtape or whatever, they was like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I had people that was close to me. Like, I don't care what anybody that's not close to me say, but when the people that was close to me heard it, they was like, yeah, I think this is it. And, after that, the I Am One just dropped, that pips.com SoundCloud. If you haven't, go download that, go listen to it. By that time, I mean, it was pretty much in the bag. People was like, look, just make sure you don't fall in the pitfalls and stay humble. So that's what I do. I try to stay happy a lot, too, because a lot of misery and grief comes along with this lifestyle too. I try to stay happy.
Well, and and when you're in the indie world and you're trying to make it, it's not like you got a big record label behind you, kind of footing the bill for a lot of stuff. That can be a challenge, and And so, but I think it's always, I think in your case, you have a great story because, you know, I'm sure there are probably people out there listening tonight who have maybe started down a certain path and they're thinking about music, but they might be thinking, you know, do I really want to risk it? And, you know, and your story is such that it's like, well, you know, if you dream big, you can achieve your dreams. You just got to reach for them. And that's a great inspiration for anybody, you know, big time.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Right.
So now I was interested because as I was reading your bio recently, I noticed that you said that you had a YouTube video that got a ton of hits. And so talk about how you made the video for YouTube and then what your reaction was as you saw that it just kind of started accumulating all these hits.
I mean, my first video and everything like that, like, got, like, a lot of hits and everything like that because, like, you know, it was like the breakthrough. Like, people, like, looked at it and they were like, oh, my God, yo, he rap? You know, so it was like that feel for it. And people would just, like, tune in, like, let me see what he's talking about. And then people, like, actually listen to it and they're like, well, where did this come from? Like, why didn't he ever say anything? And then, you know, the snowball effect actually follows that. How I felt, I was, like, real happy. I was excited because, like, oh, man, they're embracing me, you know. They're like, they're liking it. But what people was doing was they was viewing it and everything like that just to see how long he's going to keep this up. Yeah. So it was one of those type of feelings. But I was happy. I was real happy. I was, like, calling a lot of people, you know, just, like, watch my video, you know, or, like, check me out. And it turned out good.
Well, and, you know, we're into 2013, and, I mean, this was back in 2011. So, you know, it probably since then it's gotten even more hits. And you now got a YouTube channel, so, you know, you're really putting it out there. And I think you're really starting to make a believer out of a lot of people, you know.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I'm sure, because the more you put out there, you know, the more people are going to take it even more serious, and they're going to be interested in what you're going to put out next, you know, be it a video, song, or whatever the case may be. You know, now who are some of your musical influences, you know, since you've been into this?
I mean, usually I don't say musical influences, but, I mean, people influence my style along the way and everything like that. Of course it's going to be Big. You know, I like Pac. I don't really like him as much as other people, but Big, Jay, and that's about it. I mean, you know, that's about it. I really look at Jay because Jay kind of set the blueprint on how to become a successful rapper. Big set the blueprint on how to be a great rapper. So I put Big above everybody, but slightly under Big is Jay to me. So those would probably be the two biggest. But, like, artists that influence me, like, period, is like Marvin Gaye. You know, people who just speak to your soul, you know what I'm saying? Like, I turn on Marvin Gaye. Yes, I turn on Marvin Gaye. Anytime I'm feeling down, Marvin Gaye is my ultimate go-to guy. I listen to all his albums, so that's about it.
Marvin Gaye from Motown in R&B, he is one of my favorites. He is a classic, and I tell you, and you're right. I mean, if you need to pick me up, you just put on Marvin, and Marvin will pull you out of it. His music is just unbelievable. I mean, you know, his favorite song that he ever did was "What's Going On." That's undoubtedly because that'll speak to you. That speaks volumes. I mean, it was relevant for the time he was in, but it's relevant to the day. You know, and it'll be relevant 10 years from now. I mean, that's just one of those songs, and
it's going to always be relevant. It's going to always be relevant. I love Marvin.
Well, that's a great, inspiring musical influence. I can tell you, good choice, my friend. So now, you know, I want to know now: are you playing any gigs anywhere? Are you going out rapping? Are you performing anywhere?
Oh, yeah, I'm coming off a couple shows and everything like that, but my next major show is going to be in New York in March. March is going to be my next major show, but, you know, I do shows and stuff like that from time to time and stuff like that, so it'll be cool.
Well, now let me ask you, because I know you probably given some thought to this thus far. You've produced your mixtape, and if you could work with anybody in the industry, who would it be?
Pusha T.
I'm sorry?
Over everybody. I love Pusha. Pusha got a delivery that's just ridiculous. His ad-libs is always on point. He's phenomenal. I couldn't ask for more. Pusha T. I looked up to Pusha T for years too. He got something about him.
Mhm. Well, you never know who's going to be listening. So Pusha T, if you're listening, Paris, I mean, seriously, you never know. I mean, we had a show one time. This is kind of off topic, but I just wanted to let you know. You just never know who's listening. We had a show one time. I was interviewing a guest, and Nicki Minaj called in just out of the clear blue because she saw who the guest was, and the guest was just an indie artist, and she called in and wanted to talk with her. So you just never know who's listening to the show. So hopefully he is. But that would be awesome. I mean, that would be an awesome collaboration right there, and I hope you get that chance. I really do.
I hope so too. You ever hear that? It's going to be the most ridiculous, outlandish song. I'm gonna have to tell Push because his style is it's ridiculous. I love Push.
Well, now let's talk about your style a little bit. Now, when you first started rapping, I mean, of course, out of rapping is born, writing. How do you come about the lyrics?
When I first started rapping and everything like that, I sounded like Drake. Like I really did, because Drake, I'm not gonna lie to you, Drake really, he made me want to start rapping, because I'm like, if he could do it, then I could do it. Because like I always had that thing, like the light skin thing, and it wouldn't take me as serious. But I mean, I would say like a month and a half into it, I just switched up, and I started sounding like big, like I started having like a flow. And then along the way, I sound like Jay, which on the first mixtape, people made references like, you sound like Jay on some of these tracks. You need to switch it up. And then along the I Am Who I Am, I'm starting to come into my own, because I actually got a chance to hear myself on my first mixtape. And I'm like, I can't sound like Jay. You can only be yourself. You can only be a first-rate version of yourself, not a second-rate version of someone else. You know what I'm saying? So along these lines, it was just more so I just started rapping it how I felt it, which is like I feel the beat and I'm a flow. However the beat flow, I'm gonna go with the beat and put my own words and my own punchlines and my own little synonyms and metaphors and all that type of stuff in there. And I mean, it's been a process. Give or take. You you caught me before this mixtape, I would have sounded like a couple of people, but just finding my way.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. It's just going through the territory, and it's all a part of the journey. One of the things that's always fascinated me about rap. Now, you were just saying that you just kind of go with the flow as the music unfolds.
Right.
But I have always been fascinated by rappers, because it's kind of off the hip, and then it ends up being off the chain, because I'm sitting there thinking to myself, how do you think that fast? The music is going. You got to go with the music. And I know in a lot of cases, people write stuff down and then they put it to music and it works. But if you're kind of off the hip, I listen to people do that, and it's like, that is a real talent, because I sit here trying to rhyme sometimes, and it's like, not rap. We're not talking rap, so let me be clear there. The audience is laughing. They're like, well, I'm sure the people are getting a visual. Like, here's this little North Carolina country southern girl trying to rap. No, it ain't like that. My history of rapping is Sugar Hill Gang, Rappers Delight. That's it.
Man.
We'll leave it there. I won't try to do anything modern, so we'll just leave it alone. But seriously, and that's memorized rap. That's not even like off the chain, but I really have always, in truth, been fascinated by how a rapper is able to just make it all flow. And it's a process that starts, but yet it's not a bunch of jumbled words. I mean, it actually is a story that's told as it goes, So how does that happen? I mean, how does it happen for you, per se?
Normally, when I hear a beat or something like that, usually the beat tells the story. Whenever you hear a beat, you're going to know what you want to write to it because everything you hear makes you feel a certain way. So if I hear a soft beat or something like that, it's either going to be a love song or it's going to be a sad song. Usually a love song and a sad song correspond with each other because it's along the same lines. It's a thin line between love and hate. And then you got like a hard bass song, which could be a workout song or a hard song or, something that just is catchy, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a thin line between those subjects. You can't put a hard rap to a soft beat. You're like, oh, man, calm down. You don't got to be hard 24/7, So it goes with one another. And then when I hear something, people talk all day and night. If you just, out of all the words you just said in that interview, you could have made a song yourself just by all the and stuff like that. You're like, oh, man, it's so hard and all that. You could write a song about how hard it is to rap, and boom, you got a song on your hands before you know it. So, rapping is just talking, getting thoughts out and stuff like that. But, see, I walk around, I have, headaches all day. Anybody that know me know that my head hurts, all the time. So when I go to the studio or something like that, it's like a relief. I get to get these thoughts out and put it on wax.
Well, hey, that's what it's all about. And so, when you, of course, the music plays a huge role in what you are rapping, but do you ever have moments, like you say, you've got these thoughts in your head, when do they come? Or they just kind of hit you out of left field, like you're driving down the road and you can't very well write it down. So how do you retain it so you can get it out in the studio?
I think that everything comes through practice. It's just an exercise at that point. When you're just retaining information in your head, you could find yourself saying the cat in the hat fell to the back and fell on your lap. And then you keep saying that the cat in the hat fell on your lap and fell to the back. You mess up right there, but then you regain it. The cat in the hat sat in the back and fell on your lap. And you keep saying that. If you say something enough times, it's going to automatically stick in your head to where though you go 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes without saying it. The cat in the hat sat in the back and fell on your lap. The cat in the hat sat in the back, fell on your lap. And then you could kind of twist it up. The cat in the hat sat in the back, fell on your lap. And then you could keep going because, it keeps going. So, with the story, you got to keep going with the topic. And then after a while, the cat in the hat becomes the topic. You got to make a hook at this point. And then you want to keep going. So that's easy.
I was going to say you could kind of school me in that, but I don't think I will. We'll have listeners dropping off the line so fast it won't even be funny, so we'll just leave it alone. But I want to ask you now, can you kind of rap off of the, we have no music, but is there a little bit of rap you can do for us?
A little bit of rap? Okay, let me see. Need more, add less. I'm always good. She always bounce like a bad check. I don't love them, right. I place them above a long step and level pipe, right. I'm doing good as far as bad go. The more attention, more targets at my back door. They want to do me like Tupac, a few shots and put him on rocks. Look, pool thighs, woo side, 2 plots, talk, gun, scene, shoot spot, boy, instinct, feel safe, new vault. I'm that dude that your mama warned you about, saying don't let them hook you up. Man, what we talking about? Talk numbers like a time ticker. Worth get better by the age like a fine liquor. I only relate to few people, that's it. Fighting demons every day, tell the devil catch 6. Rollies, Alexis, plead the 5th on how I made it happen. I was immobile for my status, even stated rapping. You rappers stay rapping. How many times I got to divide your niggas up and break it down in the line, add up what you subtracted from rapping to find the average, claim you dope boy, but effing all up the mathematics, room worthy, I'm magic, everything I touch gold, so never gonna be sold, nothing on me but some fabrics. Heart of a lion, but I'm no Leo. You rappers F yourself up from a blown ego. Back up off my crew, and I ain't talking about my clique. I don't know, man. I'll be writing so much stuff.
Bravo. If I had an applause sound, I would sure play it. That to me, it's like you are so right. You just got rolling, and the more you rolled, the more you rolled. It just kind of came, and that has always been fascinating to me. I am just, to me, that's an art form. It's just not. It's not just. It's an art form. It really is, because there's music and then there's rap. And rap is an integral part of music. But
yes.
to me, it is something that is kind of in a league all by itself because of its unique way that it is expressed, as a music form. And, so bravo. I mean, that was awesome. I mean,
Thank
so
you.
off the hip. I'm so impressed. I could never do that. So we won't even try. But like I said, I want this interview to go well for you. I don't want to ruin it, so we'll just leave it alone. But no, I'm totally cheating. I was really impressed by that, and I appreciate you doing that for the listening audience. And that's just, that is, I have no doubt that as time goes on that you're going to just really continue to make some huge strides. And I think you're going places, and I believe we're going to be hearing the name Paris-Lamont
thank you.
on down the road. I really do. Now, let me ask you, Paris-Lamont is your real name, but if you start, really making some strides here and you get a record deal, are you going to have a rapper name? You got to have a rapper name.
No. Paris-Lamont is not my real name. Paris-Lamont is my stage name because
okay.
along the line when I was younger, I used to have a lot of girls come down to a barbershop that I used to go to, and they used to ask for me, and the barber would tell them, I wasn't there or whatever because I'd probably be in school or something like that. These are, grown women, but at the age of 18, and he would just tell me, you can't be giving these girls your real name. You know what I mean? And these girls will set you up down here, man. You gotta use a fake name. And he passed the name along to me. And when I started rapping, I didn't want people to see me as my real name. I wanted them to see me as a character, which is
I gotcha. Well,
So,
I like it. I do. I like it. Paris-Lamont. I mean, it's easy to remember. It's catchy. It's hip, man. So it fits. And and I don't even care what your real name is. That's all right. That's on point, man. So you just that's some good advice that a wise person gave you a long time ago, and I'm sure it served you well through the years. So
I thank him.
Yeah. Well, I want to say thank you so much for being with us this evening. It has been a blast. Thank you for rapping. That made my day. I've had a really bad day in the real world, in the day job. So this was a treat, man. This was a treat. This just put a smile on my face. So thank you so much. But
thank you.
I wish you the best of luck. So what's next? What's coming up real, like on the horizon in the next week, couple weeks or months?
In the next recent months and everything like that, I have 2 mixtapes coming along. I have one called Paris-Delphia, which I'm still working on right now. I went to work on that last year. I've been promoting it since last year, but I came out with I Am Who I Am. But I got another mixtape that's probably gonna come out before Paris-Delphia called Understand Me, which should be released within 2.5 to 3 months or something like that, where it's gonna be material and all that. I'm gonna still give you, the same me with a new twist on it because life changes. You can't stay the same. So, that's pretty much coming up. I got a show in New York next month, but tonight I'm supposed to be at the venue tonight. So if anybody listening and they want to come out, you catch me, Room Straws, T-Money. You catch us down at the venue down 69th Street and Garrett Road. That'll be tonight. But as far as everything else, you can check me out, thatpiff.com/Paris-Lamont, SoundCloud, search me Paris-Lamont, Facebook.com/Paris.Lamont.9. Follow me at Twitter on Paris-LamontCR. Email me at ParisLamontCR3@gmail.com. We moving over here, I'm trying to keep it cordial and I'm trying to keep it fresh and everything like that. We staying humble. We know cocky dudes over here. Anybody want to feature? We don't charge anyone at this point. You can hit my email up. We can lay a verse down tomorrow. So that's pretty much it. You want to follow me and everything like that.
Well, thank you so very much. So follow him, Paris-Lamont. He's a man, hip-hop rap artist, and you're going to be hearing lots more from him, and I have no doubt. And I'd love to have you back on the show later on down the road and just catch up and find out what great things are happening, especially after you get your mixtapes out and these current projects. And let's just catch up and chat and play some of them for the listeners. So we'd love to do it.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Well, take care and be good and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Take care and have a good night.
All right.
All righty. Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Paris-Lamont, hip-hop rap artist. And He's a great guy. So we certainly have enjoyed having him with us tonight. And so that is going to do it for our show tonight. And we've had a great show. Certainly enjoyed his rapping, and I hope that you did too. And we want to thank all the listeners for being here with us. And again, if this is your first time here with us, we hope that you'll be back. We hope that you will not be a stranger. We got the next couple nights off, and then we'll be back on Saturday night for our Indie Artist Showcase starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. So we hope that you'll join us for that. In the meantime, be good. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we will talk to you again real soon. Have a great night all. Good night.
Tonight's show has been brought to you by One Taste of Main Street Cake Shop, baked from scratch, custom-made cakes and cupcakes, and you'll be hooked. Every cake is made to order with only the finest and freshest ingredients. This is no ordinary bakery. Cakes are never pre-made. Main Street Cake Shop is in demand, having provided cakes and cupcakes for numerous prestigious events, bridal fairs, and venues. Owned and operated by April Murray, she has garnered many awards for not only her exquisite cake designs, but also for their incredible taste. If you're looking for a cake for any occasion, or cupcakes in a variety of flavors, then Main Street Cake Shop is the place. Visit them on the web at mainstreetcakeshop.com.